Amit, a lot of stock-specific action is what we are seeing in trade today, right?
Right, and AdaniPorts is one of them. They have released their investor presentation. Let's get in Hiral to discuss what are the key highlights that they have given in the presentation, what are the growth outlook that the company has portrayed here.
So it's an interesting one to watch out for, because if you see the last 5 years performance for investors, you have AdaniPorts, which has clearly outperformed Nifty 50 as well, and that's categorically seen where the stock is up nearly 350% in the last 5 years versus Nifty 50, which is up nearly 158%. The reason we're putting this into context is taking into consideration what the future holds in store for the company. Let's understand. They are looking at a 3 times revenue growth by FY29. In totality, a capex of around 65,000 to 74,000 odd crores by FY29, and targeting a 10% ROCE by FY29 from the current 6%. Now let's break this down into detail. Let's look at your FY29 guidance in terms of the revenue, EBITDA and net cash flow. Revenue, again, a 20% compounded growth is what they are looking at, to achieve a 65,000 odd crores. To achieve a EBITDA of 36,500 crores by FY29, which will indicate a CAGR growth of around 18%. And in terms of the net cash flow, a 19% compounded growth to achieve a number of 34,500 odd crores by FY29. Apart from that, now let's move on to what the capex is expected to look like as well. If you look at your FY25 to 29 capex guidance, they're looking to spend around, and this is a breakup we're giving of the first number, 45 to 49,000 odd crores is what will be spent in terms of domestic ports, 15,000 to 20,000 odd crores will be spent in terms of logistics business, and a 5,000 odd crore in terms of the maintenance capex as well. Now, let's look at what the guidance in terms of growth is. FY29, the portfolio target for AdaniPorts is 1,000 MMT, wherein 850 will be for the domestic business. International business will be around 150 MMT. Moving on, if you look at the logistics business as well, now what they've indicated is that between FY25 to 29, the spends that the company will be making towards the logistics business in terms of capex, that will plan to result in significant asset accretion for the company. The logistics ROCE is expected to expand to 10% in FY29 from the current 6% in FY25. The trucking segment, if you have to talk about that, and the recently commenced international freight network services, these are the two aspects that will drive the logistics business from here on. And the logistics revenue is expected to grow by 5 times by FY29. Agri-silo capacity to be over 3 times by FY29. And if you have to talk about the warehousing business as well, that will grow to 20 million square feet in FY29 from 3.1 million square feet, which is what the current juncture is. If you have to talk about the multimodal logistics parks as well, they're expecting that number to go to 20 from the current 12, and it's mainly your east and the southern India market that will be the target areas. Then moving on, if you have to look at the other aspects in terms of what will drive growth, your agri-silo capacity we've already spoken about. FY29 truck fleet, that is seen at 5,000 plus from a 937 in the current year. And very lastly, I mean, this is what you're talking about from FY25 to 29. But let's immediately look at what FY26 also has in store. A number target of 36 to 38,000 crores in FY26, and that's a strong number coming in there. The EBITDA is what they're looking at in that range of 21 to 22,000 odd crores. And from the overall capex that we spoke about, that is in that range of around 66 to 74,000 odd crores, around 11 to 12,000 odd crores will be spent in FY26 as a year. Let's quickly look at the port cargo volumes. They're looking at around 505 to 515 MMT, and this is in FY26. The trucking revenues are expected to grow 3 to 4 times in FY26, and the marine revenue is expected to grow by around 2 times, and that number currently is around 1,144 crores. So strong growth outlook coming in from AdaniPorts as well.